everyone, welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Sam Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. One of the things that gets me most excited in the wine world is finding good value wines. One of the reasons I like to find good value is so I can introduce wine to the younger generation that doesn't have a lot of discretionary income. And of course, there's a lot of people that just like good value wines, but we see a little bit of a decline in wine consumption. A lot of it is with the younger people. I think part of the reason for that is a lot of wine programs, a lot of wine writers, a lot of periodicals about wine tend to promote more expensive wines. And I just think that finding good values is really important for these younger people to get them involved in this fantastic world of wine. Wine is such a good thing to pair with food. It's just a nice thing to have. Of course, never promote over drinking. That is, we don't want to go there. But wine is also a very healthier choice in a lot of things that people can drink. So that's why I try to find good value wines. Not to say I don't drink wines that are more expensive. I do, and I review wines that are more expensive. But I really like, and they better be good QPRs, quality to price ratio. That's all that matters to me. So we have 3 wines here, all under $15. Give this a little rinse. Now this is a Carmenere, and Mike Sheridan and I did a blind episode, Carmenere versus Cab Franc. Mike aced me out on that one. That's okay. I like blind tastings. They're fun, and good job for Mike. Now this is the 2023 Castellero del Diablo Carmenere from Concha Toro, very big producer down in Chile. This rolls in at $9. $9, guys. Now all of these wines I've tried in the past. I think they're fantastic wines. I have them down at the store at King's Market stacked, because when I find a good wine like that, I put them out there for people to try. And I've developed a pretty good reputation, I think, with my local people about finding good wines, and they trust me, and that means a lot to me. I want to keep that trust. So this one, the color is fairly dark, kind of a blackish, purplish with a little red red tone to it. That's what I meant to say. Let's see what we get on the nose. Now Carmenere can be very herbaceous, vegetal. I try to not, I would never want to introduce somebody new to wine to one that is too vegetal. So I'm hoping this one falls into that category. Definitely on the nose, you get that kind of blackberry stem, blackberry leaf, brambleberry thing going on. A little bit of nettle action going on. I get some plum and blackberry notes as well. So let's see what we get on the palate. Hopefully it's not that vegetal on the palate. Not at all. I like this wine. Nice plum notes. I'm getting a little chocolate as well, which is very interesting. A lot of people would like that. Chocolate, plum, blackberry. There's just a hint of that herbaceousness, that vegetal quality on the finish. Just enough to let you know what Carmenere is about, but not enough to turn you off. I like that. This is a perfect wine for that. I think it's a solid wine for $9. I'm going to go B-. I think it's a really well-made Carmenere, and it's a good introduction to that varietal if you haven't tried one yet. Let's move on to the 2022 Stella Antica Rosso Red Blend. This is a blend of Cab, Merlot, and Sangiovese from Italy. This rolls in at $14. These labels that have the Western theme on the front, they don't always do so great. Label shopping is a huge thing. I don't really care what the label looks like, but you'll never find a label in my department that's really cute and the wine's crappy. I always make sure the label might be cool, but the wine better be good. This label, not so cool. If you're a Westerner, you might like it. If you're a cowboy, you might like it. But don't let the label turn you off from the wine. Okay, color. This one is about the same as the Carmenere, really. Maybe a little darker, a little more on the black side. You can see through it just a little bit. It has almost like a brownish tone to it, but it's not very old. It's 2022. Let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh, I love the nose. As I said, a little bit of a kind of cinnamon cinnamon, cherry, red on the red side, cherry. Oh, that cinnamon, that really comes through on this one. Very powerful. Maybe a little bit of red raspberry as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. What a solid wine. No. What I like about this wine is that it's old world, but it has good fruit to it. So it has good, I get that kind of raspberry, cherry thing going on the palate. The little chocolate tones lying underneath. Has a little bit of a crushed rock thing, but it's barely noticeable. But I like that part of it. Good fruit. The fruit carries. It's still carrying on my palate. Wow, what a solid wine. Now, I tried this and I really liked it. I wanted to review it for you, and it will probably be my pick of the month for the month of November. Just giving you a little heads up for you guys who watch this program. I always stack a little stack at the end of the aisle, right up in the front of my department, and it's Stan's pick for November. This one will be that one. I also write it up on my blog, which I haven't been doing lately. My wife just reminded me, Susie just reminded me that I have not been doing my bits and bobs. I need to get noisier on the internet, on my blog, on YouTube. Absolutely. Smooth tannins. This is a tannin the delicious category. I think this is a great wine for any younger person who wants to break into wine. What a great wine. This is a good wine for a company to just come over and enjoy a bottle. It also has enough acidity to it to go, this is great pizza wine, burger wine, whatever you want to do. I would have this with a steak as well. The finish just goes on and on and on. It has the fruit, but it's not over the top. It's really balanced. I like it. I'm going to go B+ on this wine. For $14, guys, B+, it's crazy. Let's move on to the Faustino. This is from Spain. This is 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, Faustino is a Rioja producer. Rioja is famous for Tempranillo, Tempranillo and Graciano are the main grapes of there. You don't see a lot of cab coming out of Rioja, but Faustino is a big producer there. They're discontinuing this Artist Series label, so I'm rolling it out at $10 at the store. Now the problem with some wine shops or some stores, they may taste this wine and they go, you know what, this is good wine. I think I'm going to go $14, make a little extra on the margin. I want my customer to get the same kind of value that I'm getting, the same kind of deal that I'm getting. So I tend to stay away from that practice. I understand why people do it. I work for a company. Some people own their own shop. They have to do it, and I get it. I totally get it. But in my environment, I try to stick with the pricing. I don't want to get too low sometimes because that people go, really? $8? So sometimes you have to go up just a little bit so people think, maybe I'll give it a try. It's funny. You've been in the business long enough, you see that happen. Some people say if you raise the price, you'll sell it quicker. Not so sure about that, but sometimes you don't want to go too low because people get suspicious. Okay, so this is a cab. You expect it to be darker. It is darker. This is hedging towards the black side. It's the dark side. So $10 cab from Rioja, Spain. So we get on those. Ooh, I get a little petrol, a little gas, a little diesel thing going on the nose. Some currants and dark cherry notes, but it blew off just now. So initially you got it, so it blows off. Sometimes that's why it's good to decant wine or even just leave it in your glass for a few minutes. That will blow off. That did. Although I got kind of excited about that. It was weird. Chocolate notes, currants, cherries. Getting a little kind of a purple flower thing going on the nose as well. That's what we get on the palate. Well, that's crazy. Good structure. This tastes like a cab. A little bit of minerality on the finish, a little kind of crushed rock thing going on the backside. But I'm getting definitely the currant notes, the cherry note, dark cherry notes. Good balance. This has a little more acidity than the other two. I think, honestly, if you want to have fun, buy a couple of bottles and tuck them away for 5 years. See where this goes. I know a lot of you have 5 years left in you. I know I do. So yeah, put it away, even 3 to 5 years, and see how it develops. Because this has all the stuff that you're supposed to see in wine that makes it age. It has the fruit, it has the tannins, it has the acidity. It's all there. It'd be fun to put a couple of these away and see how they develop. A little rubber boot action on the mid palate into the finish. But I think overall, very well made cab. This is a good food wine. This is not a wine you would just sit around with your company, unless you have a bunch of wine geeks that love this kind of thing. This needs food. It really does. It needs having a stew, having hamburgers, having steak, pizza. This is a good wine for all of that, although the structure on it might be a little too much for a pizza unless you have a lot of stuff, a lot of meat products on that pizza. But overall, very well made wine. I'm going to go B+ on this cab from Faustino for $10. So there you have it, guys. We have 3 wines under $15 that are great QPRs, quality price ratio wines. Good wines for the new wine drinker to step into, especially the Carmenere and the red blend from Italy, from the Tuscany region of Italy. Escape me there for just a minute. And then this one, which is a good food wine, good structure. I'd tuck a couple of these away, just for the fun of it. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. I am going to get a little bit noisier on this. I realize that I let too much time slack by. I'm getting close to 2,000 subscribers, which is really exciting to me that there's that many people that like watching this. And I am going to put some content out there. In fact, my next one is going to be a kind of a vintage comparison, because, people wonder if vintage matters, and I'm a firm believer in vintage-driven wines. So that'll be fun to do that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.